right, hello, Sooner Nation. I'm exhausted. I'm tired, not only from the football game. I was on the softball field most of the day and got to miss most of the first half. So I got back for the second half of it. And
So did the Sooners offense.
yeah. And I think I texted Goss in the third quarter. I said, win or lose, we are doing a pod tonight. I have so much stuff. I want to destroy this whole program.
I'm pretty sure you followed that up with I want to fire everyone at that
I did.
point.
At that point, I did. Now, I only
Yeah.
got to want to fire a few people now.
Yeah. So,
but I don't know. I mean, where do we start with what we just witnessed?
well, we start with. I didn't realize this until I saw this stat on the broadcast tonight. It's our first road win against a ranked team since 2019. Okay. BV never, in his tenure, had never won one. Lincoln had lost his last two. And, it's a huge win. Is that an unbelievable Tennessee team? No, it's not. And, Tennessee had a chance to knock us out in the first half. But as you heard first here on Soonercast, turnovers can really impact the game of football.
Isn't that crazy how that works?
And, it seems like you also heard it here first that the turnovers will come and they'll come in bunches. And they did tonight. And we needed every single one of them. Now, don't want to turn into a negative Nancy right in the beginning, but I was reading some stuff on X before we got on here. And I guess they asked BV about the horrific play call of the last interception that was thrown and why that was. And I guess that was an RPO, but Brent did come out and say, look, that can't be an RPO. That has to be just a handoff. There should be no decision there. But, whatever meme you want to throw out for John Mateer, the difference in the first half and the second half were just absolutely insane. I referred to John Mateer as not nice things in the first half and at halftime. And
the Antichrist.
The guy that came out and played in the third quarter was a completely different guy. And, I thought probably the most lasting image I have of this game was after we took the lead there, they go to Arbuckle and Mateer on the sideline, and, Arbuckle's guy's arms draped over Mateer's shoulder, and they're both smiling. And we haven't seen that out of those guys in a long time either. Now, we don't want them to be smiling idiots when they're playing bad. I'm not meaning that. But, John Mateer has to be a confident guy. And I saw that decisiveness and confidence again in the second half.
Absolutely. And you remember when very attractive, smart young man said they should do really short throws and screens and get him in a rhythm. It only took him, one half to do it, but it was like, oh my God, these first reads that are these easy little runs and then let your athletes make decisions. It's crazy how that turned our whole team around. And also, too, they put some new guys in at receiver. I don't know if we noticed that all of a sudden have not played. I like that idea.
No, shout out, Jermichael Carter had two big catches,
why I think Jermichael Carter went in there is, I don't know if you noticed, he can block.
Yes.
He's a very good blocker. And I just felt like I wanted to throw everything I could at my screen whenever that first possession, we ran the ball 0 times.
Yeah.
Come out and just throw the ball. I'm like, what game are we watching? And that's a problem when you're a fan, all you're seeing is what's in front of you. But you look at it and you say, why are we not running the football? Well, maybe he's audible and out of runs.
Yeah.
But when you see an empty set, you figure he's not audibling out of anything because we don't have a damn running back there. So but the thing is to me, in my opinion, John Mateer grew up in that second half. I don't want to say he looked like him, but if you remember in the second half, last time we played in Knoxville, there was a gentleman by the name of Baker Mayfield that grew up in the second half. Thank God we didn't have to go to overtime because I don't know if my heart could have taken it, but he did change.
I think we make the wrong I think we've made the wrong references to John Mateer and like who we need him to be. I had this thought tonight, and like, we need him to be OU Jalen Hurts. Okay. Because I mean, he's not the speedy guy that Kyler was. He doesn't have the arm talent that Baker does. But if he could do for us what Jalen did, because we live in a different world now. Okay. Back in the 14 playoff, we're out. I mean, yeah, you could argue maybe we could get back in. You run the table, you find a way against the championship game, but in all reality, we're out. But in the current playoff model, we're very much in. We win our next 3 games, we're in. And that OU team with Jalen would have been in. And so, I mean, Mateer ran the ball for 80 yards tonight. Okay, he had 16 carries for 80 yards. His long was 22. It's 5 yards a carry. X had 16 carries, 115 yards. Long of 43. Yeah, 43 of those was on the play that, he took the knee, and like it doesn't really make sense that we took the knee and then scored directly the next play. If we're going to take that knee, you probably take another one. But I'm not going to complain. To me, I just scored automatically.
I'm glad you brought that up. Why were people hammering Xavier Robinson on that? I mean, I understand like going to score, but I know what his mindset was is like this way they don't get the ball back.
Right.
And they have 2 timeouts. They would have had to use those 2 timeouts. We are at the 1-inch line.
Yeah.
So why don't we just like kneel down one time? That was my other deal is like kneel down one time, maybe 2 times.
And here's the deal, man. There were lots of questionable like decisions with that. Obviously, we've already touched on the decision to make that pass was really questionable.
Yeah.
We've got to be cleaner with the penalties. There were way, way, way too many penalties. I think let's see what the final count was, but man, it was rough. And so we've got to clean, that kind of stuff up too. But at the same time, 11 penalties for 104 yards. I mean, that's brutal.
Yeah.
But the difference is, Jeremy, we came out in the second half and we were the kind of team that we needed to be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to run the football. We were able to possess the football. Now, it wasn't a win by much. Okay. We won this by 14 seconds, which is kind of like winning it by 7 seconds. But we won time of possession today. Okay. Yeah. We won the turnover battle today. We just won it by 1. Okay, wouldn't have been near as exciting if we'd have won it by 2 or 3, but we won it by 1. And so those are the things that we hadn't been doing that we did. Now, I can't believe we've been on this pod for 8 minutes already, and I haven't talked about the man, the myth, the booty shorts, Tate.
I mean,
our kicker, dude.
Whatever we're paying everybody else needs to be emptied out and paid to that man.
I mean, like, has anybody ever been a more impressive 5'9", gentleman? I mean, that dude.
Has there ever been a closer guy to Brandon Autry in college football than
I mean, Tate Sandell just absolute nails. I mean, absolutely.
And did you feel like Kirk Herbstreit and them were trying their damnedest to jinx him?
Oh, absolutely. No,
I'm like,
absolutely.
Okay, he's going to miss one of these, right? And he never did.
No,
he never missed a kick.
I mean, guys, there's over 100,000 people there. From all accounts, just an amazing atmosphere and all those things. So I mean, just absolute nails. And
yeah, I don't know if we've ever. I don't remember the last time we had a kicker like. I mean, are we going back to Tim Duncan?
Yeah, era? I mean, because this is better than Burkitt pre-burrito. I mean, there's nothing here that really compares to this. I mean, Seibert, I guess, maybe at his peak, possibly.
But really, dude, having a kicker like that in college football is a game changer for you.
Well, and I mean, Jeremy, it's a weapon with our defense too. And here's the deal: our defense. Obviously, we gave up a lot of yards. We gave a lot of yards early, and then we gave up a lot of yards really late. Don't have the stats directly in front of me, but 456 yards for Tennessee, which is a lot. I'm not going to question that. 393 passing, but the fact we kept them at 63 yards rushing allowed us to adjust because once we really made our adjustment and heated Aguilar up, that's when the turnovers started coming. Okay.
Yeah.
And, once they did, then, it was kind of like the Russians cut. They started to bleed. And so we were able to go ahead and, and take care of what we needed to take care of, because, only twice this year has Tennessee been kept to less than 30. And this was one of them. Now, Alabama kept them to 20, but that game was also at Alabama. So a little different there versus being at home. And so in Tennessee had 410 yards against Alabama. They ran for 142 in that game. So whether this was the best defensive performance or the second best defensive performance against Tennessee this year, it doesn't really matter. Either way, it's a win for us. But I do think the defense did enough today. Okay, they did. And, sucked losing our Mason Thomas. I think this is a better defense with Kobe McKenzie in there. But a second person I want to just really shout out, our next minuscule Caucasian that I want to shout out, is Owen Heineke, who I've been critical of in the past, was just an absolute dog tonight. He was, especially, forced the fumble, made lots of plays, especially in the first half to kind of keep us in it. I thought Kip kind of took over a little bit there in the second half, but shout out to Heineke, because he was really, really good tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, and I know we'll have 2 weeks now to talk about Alabama, but I think we cannot sit back in zone against Alabama.
No.
They'll pick us apart. And it's almost like Brent wants to keep them from hitting the big plays on us. But, like, when you have a defense with the speed and the pressure and the defensive line that we have, putting pressure on them is how we are a successful defense. So don't take that advantage away from our defense. So,
well, and like,
that's one thing I saw.
Here's the thing too, and I know he had like the crucial mistake on the missed tackle to give him a touchdown there in the third quarter. But Cortland Guillory is going to be an absolute star. I mean, he is, even when he gets beat. I mean, once he starts getting the "I'm the best corner" treatment that from the officials, because like that, I mean, how much difference of a game is this? I know, Jeremy, I don't think you were home yet, but first time Tennessee has the ball, it's third and long. We're going to force them to a 3 and out. And the tight end just comes and wraps Guillory up. I mean, he initiates the contact, just runs right into him. They throw a ball 10 feet over his head. And even Herb Street and company were just shocked that flag was thrown. And Tennessee ends up scoring a touchdown. So I know Guillory had some PIs. I even thought the second one there on another just kind of heave up really wasn't that bad either. I know he's a little late to turn around and see the ball, but those underthrows are kind of a cheat code when it comes to pass interference on those go routes. So yeah. I just think Guillory is on pace to be an absolute star. And if we can ever, and it sounds like, he was close and all that, but, having the bye week, you get Gentry back, you can throw Gentry and Guillory out there. I just think that makes for a better team against a very good, high-powered Alabama offense. And hopefully we got Kobe McKenzie back that week. But one thing I don't want to see changed is we have our offensive line, leave them there. A comment Brent made today on his post game, as he talked about, everybody in the country is going to be coming after our freshman offensive linemen. So we better take care of them. Everyone is going to be coming after them. And we don't want another Caden Green situation where we lose those guys on a money thing. And once again, we talked about this on our preview pod, but one of the benefits of, if we can continue on, it's a huge win tonight. Hopefully we get 3 more. We need at least 2 more, but we get the positive momentum going with Brent. We are going to have some extra money that a lot of these programs are not going to have, because they're spending a lot of money on buyouts and coaches that we shouldn't have to do. And I think that could really be beneficial as we go into next year as well.
Well, and you look at it this way too as well. Heupel's getting a lot of criticism tonight too for some
Yeah.
of the stuff he did, and it's kind of the same criticism that we give Brent on some big games, just some decisions and stuff like that of what he did. But it all goes back to quarterback play. I said something, I don't know, with the DAR group, that Aguilar is making Mateer look like a genius. Just some of the
Yes.
throws that he was making,
Yeah.
and that's, what's crazy? That's what pressure does to you. When you get
Yeah.
pressure on a quarterback, that's how they make bad decisions. The blueprint has been kind of written on John Mateer. Like, how do you get him out? You put pressure on him, right? And so that's one thing that I've noticed is it's so hilarious that we were going to sit back in zone. We've got the defense that we do that puts so much pressure on them.
Well, and the old, what does prevent? The only thing prevent defense prevents is winning. So it was kind of funny there at the end before they kicked the field goal on that last drive. Brent finally just said, "You know what? The hell with it. We're just going to blitz. We're going to bring pressure anyway." After they got about the 20-yard line. So that was nice to see. But
well, I mean, look at the
touch on a few more things. One of those things that will go unnoticed is like Marvin Jones Jr. just hitting enough of that tight end on the fourth down play to throw the timing off. It's a timing play. And I know everyone, if Jeremy and I are wearing orange and singing Rocky Top, we're mad at that tight end. But really, that's not really on him. Okay, that's a timing play. And that timing got thrown off because Marvin Jones did a good job of getting a piece of him as he got out there. And that's why that pass hit him in the face instead of hitting him in the hands.
Yeah. What did we talk about last week? Like your defense just has to make a play, get off the field, do whatever you can. And it's like tonight, we made the plays that we had to do to win games. That's what good teams do. And that's why I said I could come on here and just hammer so many different things. But in the end, all I said I wanted was I just want to win a big game. And what we do tonight, won a big game. So can't really come in here and have a complete meltdown like I was going to.
Absolutely not. I mean, like, Jeremy, like, life in the SEC, life in college football in 2025 is hard, okay? I mean, Miami, remember back when everyone thought, they were, hey, man, I wish we could do like what they're doing. They go and they lose to SMU today. Look, the ACC is a one-bid league. That's who, that's who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, life comes at you fast with all of this stuff. And I mean, I really thought Georgia really had a great chance to beat Florida today. Now, the difference is Florida finds a way to win all these.
You mean Florida? Games. You mean Florida had a chance to beat Georgia?
Yeah, Florida. I mean, Florida had a chance to win that game.
Yeah, I was like, Georgia did win.
But I just thought that was a terrible call. I thought the kid from Florida caught it on the scramble play on third down. I thought it was a terrible call. But one thing I will say that's a negative is I've complained constantly about the schedule that the SEC has given us. But I also just think like it is time for us to start getting the benefit of some calls here and there. Because, I mean, I would love to see – it's just been really frustrating our last year at the Big 12. And, well, I mean, just kind of the whole Brent Venables era of just the shaft we've seen with the whistle. Now, some of that is we are not disciplined enough. We bring that on ourselves. But as good as our defensive line is for the other teams to never get called for holding is just absolutely asinine. Asinine.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's – I have complained about that for a long time about how it's like, can we not just get one break? I mean, that's all we need is just one break. And it seems like any call, like when that running back stepped out of bounds.
Yeah,
I was like, obviously they can't see that, so he's probably just got another 22 yards.
Yeah,
that's what I figured because that's how the luck we have. So it just seemed tonight like, okay, maybe we are going to win this game, and I don't know how we're going to, but it's just did it not to you like feel like okay?
Well, I mean, it's just the thing, and you hate to oversimplify it to this, but we have the pieces to be, and there are times. I mean, we're a very frustrating football team to be a fan of, to watch. I get it, Because there are times we look like a top 5 team. We look like a team that can play in the national semifinal. Then there's times we look like a team that gets their coach fired. And it may happen in the same drive. But
I must say that is like the roller coaster we feel every single game. So, yeah.
But it goes back to when our quarterback is good, when John Mateer is good, we're good. And when he's not, we're not. And it was just really, really good to see the more decisive version of him in the second half. It just really was. And, whether it's been because he just looked scared in the first half. He was jumping to throw. He was literally jumpy. I mean, you've heard the term happy feet. That's what he had, seeing ghosts, whatever it was. And it wasn't like it was an automatic fix. I mean, we didn't come score in the third or our first series of the second half, but seeing that growth, guys, this is going to be tough again. It's probably going to be a night game at Tuscaloosa in a couple of weeks. Okay. And that's going to be
probably
a tough
game day is going to be
there, as well. So big games again, but that's what we want to do. Yeah. That's where we want to get.
Yeah. And don't you feel like we just simplified it a little bit more for Mateer? Like almost to the point where it was just like, you know what? Do one read passes. It's like, I feel like sometimes Arbuckle's like, well, he's been in my system. I can do all this and that. And sometimes you just got to be like, you know what?
Well, and I think, Jeremy, like we don't have the receivers to throw the ball up and take a chance with. We don't have those guys. We don't have the receivers to just, really make moves and all that stuff. And, we were hoping that Giovanni Gibson could be that guy. He's not healthy. That's just like there was a slant play we threw early that Mateer didn't make a bad play, but you can just tell that's not a guy who is the athletic freak that we heard about. And it's not taking anything against him. I'm glad the guy's out there. At least he's trying. It's an improvement over those people that we had last year in those positions. But in the end, we've got to go get some more playmakers there. But I just want to say for today, I am proud of this staff. I am proud of this team for going and winning there because that's not an easy place to win.
Absolutely.
It's just
and
not.
One thing
is an absolute good win.
And absolutely. one thing I'll say talking about receivers though, Satang is our playmaker, and when the ball's in his hand, that's when good things happen. So we've got to find we have to develop in our wide receiver room touches for him. Some of the route, he is a good route runner. That's what in this offense right now, what succeeds is good route running. He's a good route runner. And I think that's why, what's his name? What's 84? God dang, it just slipped my mind. I've had too many beers.
Jermichael Carter.
Yes,
Jermichael
Carter. Yeah. I think that's one reason they brought him in because good route runner, they ran a little screen for him. Just like he's a physical wide receiver. And it's like, okay, we put these receivers in there trying to hit deep balls. We don't throw deep balls.
Yeah.
So why keep these guys in there? Put some different guys in. So that's one thing, in my opinion, that was refreshing. It's change it up. Quit doing the same thing over and over again. Maybe run the ball every once in a while and establish the run. It's another thing that I like too. I like it. Just Xavier Robinson. I understand he fumbled. He got absolutely
that was a literal punch. I mean, you don't see that very often. Just a straight up.
Yeah, I think my father-in-law said, I think they just punched him in the face.
And did you see that they did punch? I think it was RSJ's pick. That they punched him in the nuts after that play, but there was no penalty. So I thought that was kind of sweet of him.
Yeah, that's the old Al Bundy reference. If you're not cheating, you ain't trying. So
so yes, nut punching legal at this point. So nice to see.
Well, I'm glad I took off. I want to jump on here. I not as much hate because I get to celebrate a win. As what I initially got on here, I said, win or lose, I'm getting on here because I'm destroying everybody and I want everybody fired. But I'll tell you one thing, though, I can say that now, but the joy on Brent Venables' face, you could almost see a monkey getting taken off.
That's relief, man.
he's just like, oh, thank God I finally won a big game. And I feel good for the guy because we've said on this pod numerous times that we like Brent Venables. I want him to succeed. I want him. It's just like I want OU program to do good, but I also want that man to do good. He deserves it, in my opinion. He's gone through so much crap.
And like, here's the deal, guys. I'll say this and Jeremy and I will be back on Wednesday to dive into this a whole lot more. We'll have a bye week so we can kind of talk about some mid-season stuff and
maybe we can talk our wives to getting on for.
Yeah. We've got some stuff planned there, but I'll just say this: we go into the bye week. We're going into the bye week 7-2. We're going to be probably 15-ish, somewhere in there in the first college football playoff with a legitimate chance to go make the college football playoff. Last year we were 6-6. We lost to Navy in a bowl game. Enjoy the fact that we're better. Good days are ahead of us. As long as we just win our 2 remaining home games now, we're going to go 9-3. I hope we go 10-2 and we go to the playoff. That's what I want. That's what I hope for. It's what I'll probably pick to happen. Okay. But understand that 9-3 is a very, very real possibility with an argument to get in the playoff. We probably won't get in with an argument to get in the playoff. And you can build some real positive momentum to have a team that probably is preseason top 4 or 5 next year. If you go out and do the right things, go out and get in the portal, go out and fire Joe John Finley, go out and do the little things that we need to do to get over the hump. But any other closing thoughts on this week's games? Game, Jim?
I don't think so. I feel like it's what we've been wanting: a big road win, a big just win and period. That we thought were going to happen last week. It did not. So,
and
it makes that Ole Miss loss so much more frustrating. But
I implore you, Sooner Nation, Sooner Cast fans that are out there, we get over 1,000 views on losses. Okay, on wins we sometimes struggle to get over 100. So show that we are not the trolls that live in their mother's basements. That now, if any of our fans are living down there, congratulations. We love you guys. Keep following, like, and all that stuff.
Keep living on.
Yeah, but show there's some positivity out there, Sooner Nation. We are proud this week. Big win at Neyland Stadium. Josh Heupel, since he has been there coming into tonight, was 27-4 at Neyland Stadium. And so it's pretty big. The only SEC teams that have beaten him in his tenure there is Georgia and Oklahoma. So pretty good company to keep there. I thought there was an Ole Miss win there a couple of years ago, but I didn't see that with my little bit of research. So if I am, you can correct me in the comments. But again, thanks for listening, guys. SoonerCast@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. We're up over 150 subscribers. So let's keep on keeping on.
Yeah, keep them coming. Boomer Sooner.
Boomer.